The second half of the season starts tonight. The Atlanta Hawks are taking on the Orlando Magic here at home. And I'm just telling you right now, if what I'm feeling is true, then the second half of the season is a golden opportunity for the Atlanta Hawks. This isn't clickbait. This is the absolute truth, and I'm going to dig into every last detail as to what I am talking about. I mean, of course, we got new guys coming in, and then on top of that, we've got different NBA analysts talking about the Atlanta Hawks as far as where they could possibly see it, and yes, the optimism is still high with the Atlanta Hawks. What's going on, everybody? My name is Walter Pollard, and this is Atlanta Hawks Digest. I am here to just give you the absolute skinny on all of it, and I'm definitely going to do so. Really quickly, man, listen. First half of the season was awesome. I enjoyed it. I really did. Not the playoffs, but the All-Star game, it could have definitely been better. We all agree to that. But regardless of that, the second half of the season starts tonight, and I am super excited, of course, because this is what it is. And just being honest, the playoff push is definitely going to be an interesting playoff push because looking at the optics, I'm just going to say the Atlanta Hawks are in a really good position despite how bad things have gone for the Atlanta Hawks so far this season. We could talk about the injury bug that just consistently just sticks with us, unfortunately. We can even talk about bad play and playing down to our competition. But all in all, I mean, again, this playoff push is going to be a good one. It's going to be a good one because it's only 4 games that separates us from the number 5 position. And I want to say it's about 6 games that separates us from the 12th position. Right now, the Atlanta Hawks sit at number 8. So again, prime positioning, really good opportunity. And I do feel as though when the playoffs start, I want to say that, I do believe that when the playoffs do start, matchups definitely count. And depending on who the Atlanta Hawks end up playing in the playoffs, we could possibly see ourselves having a deep run.
Yeah, they still have young pieces at Risacher and those guys. But I think the Hawks are building in the right direction. And I think a year or 2 from now, we should finally be able to see a finished product. And 2 years from now, this team should be one of the better teams in the NBA.
Now, that was analyst Sam Mitchell. That was the analyst Sam Mitchell. And he was talking to 92.9 The Game, and he was talking to Dukes and Bell at the time. And he was basically just alluding to the fact that the Atlanta Hawks have definitely made some trades and made some moves that could put them in a really, really good position. And I'll get into the whole deal with Terrence Mann and Terrence Mann, Karis LeVert, and George Niang. You know, of course, those guys that came in and came to replace the folks that we did trade away. Again, it's been said that things are getting better, and I'm going to go ahead and go to it really quickly. Trae Young had even said it's nowhere below the playoffs, and this is when he was asked about where he sees the Atlanta Hawks going into the following point, the rest of the season. He basically said nowhere below the playoffs. That's got to be our focus. When we made these moves, we got these guys, obviously, from the Cavs. You dig what I'm saying? I'm sorry. Let me go back. He basically said, obviously, from the Cavs because they were the number 1 team at the time. And then you bring in Terrence Mann, who's I don't even think he's ever been in the playoffs. You got winners around you. And so it's like you got to win. You got to be in the playoffs. So that's our main focus. And again, I believe that should be the main focus. Again, you got all of these guys around you that definitely add to your team. They don't take away. You know, Terrence Mann, he definitely has a major defensive aspect to him. He's really long. He can definitely guard players coming up the court. He can guard you at half court. And adding him along with Dyson Daniels, I'm telling you, it could definitely help the Atlanta Hawks more so than hurt them. And also, Terrence Mann, he feels as though that he is ready to step into a position, or let's just say an important role on the team in order for them to get to the next level.
My next question is what do you think? Obviously, All-Star break is quick. What do you think it's going to be like the rest of the way? What do you feel like you can help bring to our team the rest of the way?
I'm in a different position now than I was with the Clippers, though, with you guys. So I think just like leadership role by example, especially for the younger guys, we got a lot of good younger guys who are one good vet away from taking this organization to the next level. You know what I mean? I think, that's a role that I could really take on, just kind of being that dude, set by example, tough defense, make shots, and just show them the way. And we're going to need them, you know what I mean? So, and they're doing really well right now. I know it's only February, but, we got a couple steps to take, but I think, we're going to be able to mold them in a way where by the time it's playoff time, they're going to be locked in.
Now, again, Trey, this was off of Trae Young's podcast. I want to say is From the Point with Trae Young. And this was over the All-Star break when they were talking with each other. So if what I'm hearing is true, you know what I'm saying? If this is going to come to fruition, then I think it is time for the Atlanta Hawks front office to start to get real about Trae Young's future. And we've talked about this prior to the trade deadline. We've talked about it prior to the season. Trae Young has a contract. I think he's going to be entering year 4. He's going to be entering year 4 of a 5-year, $215 million contract. So again, time's running out for the Atlanta Hawks. And if what we've seen over this last trade deadline, we definitely do not want to see Trae Young asking for a trade or, we don't want to be in a bad situation with Trae Young. Just being completely honest, I do feel as though Trae Young is important to the Atlanta Hawks, and I feel as though he can definitely take this team, especially how it's being constructed right now. Now, keep your eyes on negotiations between Trae Young and the Atlanta Hawks, and I'm just reading this to you from Soaring Down South. Young has 2 years left on his contract after this season and can be a free agent in 2026. If he declines his player option, you know what I'm saying? So he could be a free agent in 2026 if he declines his player option. Now, he is definitely eligible. He's eligible for a four-time All-Star. He is the four-time All-Star, but he is eligible for a 4-year, $229 million extension this offseason. So, again, putting it clearly, the Atlanta Hawks definitely have their work cut out for them if they want to maintain Trae Young, and keeping him with the team is definitely going to be very, and I say very important. Now, again, I want to remind you, the Atlanta Hawks have been in the play-in tournament for the last 3 years, okay? For the last 3 years. They missed the playoffs last year, and I think it's been 7 years since the Atlanta Hawks saw a deep run into the playoffs, and that of course is when they played against Giannis Antetokounmpo and the Bucks, who ended up going on and winning the World Championship. So now, here we are today. The Atlanta Hawks are going to be taking on the Orlando Magic here at home. Here at home. The last time they played the Orlando Magic, it was definitely a close game, but the Atlanta Hawks were able to pull away. And oftentimes I've told you guys, I like, not even just, as far as availability on TV, I like listening to 92.9 The Game. I like listening to the Atlanta Hawks broadcast on 92.9 The Game, because I will say Steve Holman and all those guys, they definitely have a way of making it. It just sounds visual. You dig what I'm saying? If you get what I'm saying, you'll definitely tune in tonight. If you're down to listen, tune in to 92.9 and definitely listen to the game for sure. Now, going into tonight's game, again, Magic number 7, Hawks number 8. If I can put it plainly, the Atlanta Hawks are definitely going to be doing a dance with this team specifically as time winds down. Again, there's only 27 games left in the season, and you got 16 at-home games. So if the Atlanta Hawks can get a win tonight, they're definitely going to jump the Magic. But, of course, if the Magic were to win, they will maintain their position versus the Hawks. Now, again, after the Magic, they got to take on Detroit at home. They take on Miami at home. So you got a nice 3-game stretch at home. Ending that stretch in a 29-29, I think it would definitely be great. The Atlanta Hawks move back to 500. And then with 3 games under their belt, they could probably find themselves in the 6th or 5th position at the end of this stretch. So, again, I'm only painting the picture as to what is possible with the Atlanta Hawks, okay? And this is before they go on the road. It's a double, not a double, but a back-to-back versus the Miami Heat, because they go down to play Miami. And then they have a tough stretch versus OKC, Memphis, and Milwaukee. before playing another back-to-back versus the Indiana Pacers. And I've told you, this team should definitely find a way to at least end up 8-3 in this record. If you count the number of teams that they're going to be playing, they should end it at an 8-3. But going back to tonight, versus the Orlando Magic, it is going to be a big one because, again, we still do not have Larry Nance. He's still out with a knee injury. We still don't have Vit Krejci because he's definitely dealing with a shoulder injury. A back injury. We still don't have Jalen Johnson for the season because he has a shoulder injury. And Buffkin, of course, we knew that from at the beginning of the season when we knew he wasn't going to be here for the long haul. So, again, we're going to be needing Terrence Mann. We're definitely going. Let me show you so that you guys can really understand how pivotal this is. We're definitely going to need to see some more of this guy. Trey Young definitely got to be who he is. We would love to see more of this young man. And again, too, you don't see his face, but Terrence Mann was there as well. Not Terrence Mann, but Caris LeVert. So again, Caris LeVert, Terrence Mann, and George Niang definitely would love to see these guys stepping up for the Atlanta Hawks. I'm going to see who the starters will be, and if I can find out in good enough time, I'm definitely going to post it to my YouTube so that you guys can see it. But listen, it's going to be a prime opportunity for the Atlanta Hawks to get into good positioning moving into the playoffs, and I am going to be here for every last stinking detail because I am invested in this team, and I hope that you guys are too. My name is Walter Pollard. This is Atlanta Hawks Digest, and I'm out. Peace.